Hello, welcome to this Battle Bunnies review of the Deimos Predator battle tank. We've had a copy sent to us as a preview, so let's have a look at the sprues. I mean, we could have a look at the pictures on the back first if you wanted to. So it comes with the Graviton cannon, which is the one I'll probably be building. A Gravis Las cannon, Volker Macro Seeker, Heavy Flamer Sponsons, Volker Cauldron Sponsons or Less Cannon Sponsons. I do like that it's based on the... Oh, it looks like it's got the Heavy Bolter Sponsons in there as well as the normal autocannon turret. I do like that I kept as the original sort of model, which some of us may have had a long time ago. Let's get rid of that box. So we have the turret sprue, which is pretty nice. Put that out of the way as well for a minute. So here's the turret sprue. Comes with the rounded turret, the distinctive front plate, and a different sort of top plate for the turret housing. Oh, and of course the side sponsons as well. You get with it, you get another accessory sprue. These are really handy, really useful for additional bits and kit bashing and everything. And there is the weapon sprue side sponson. So there you have all your weapons. That looks pretty cool. Then we have the main turret sprue, the weapons. Also quite handy, and quite like the autocannon to be fair. And then there is this sprue for the main tank, which is the same as the Rhino one. We also have the little transfer sheet with the Imperial Fist and Sons of Horus decals as a standard. And then of course the instructions, which look to be pretty straightforward. It's just the Rhino, pretty much the same internals. If you wanted to, you can paint the internals. I've done it with one of mine. I'm not sure if I do it with this one, but we'll see how I'm doing for time. You build it up to a certain point, then the top plate, tracks. I do like the tracks on these ones. They are really clear. You can't go wrong. Even if you try, you cannot get these wrong. And you get a distinctive front armor plate. You can use the normal one as well if you want. If you want a bit of variety to your Predators, use a different front armor plate. Not a problem at all. And then of course all the different turret options. I'm not sure how much of this is going to be magnetizable, but I'll have a look at it. I didn't bother with size sponsors on my other tanks. I didn't really magnetize them. I just left them as is on the Kratos, for example. On these ones I'll probably do the same. I'll pick something, stick with it. You can put 4 of these in a squad, so I think there's plenty of options there, and you don't have to glue the side sponsons on. So you can just slot them in as per normal, and you can swap them out with other tanks if you wanted to, because they are compatible with the other tanks. And then your usual turret sprues, fittings, pintle mounted weapons, gunner. So yeah, I'll build this and then we'll come back to you. Right, quick tip on this lower plate, because this is a very tight fit. If you already build one of the Deimos Rhinos, you'll know that this is a very tight fit. And it can cause you some issues if you don't get this in correctly, because then the top hole won't mount up correct. So you need to use quite a bit of force to push that in. But what I've been doing on these ones, I'm taking a file and I'm sort of chipping away at the little outlets that go into the recesses on the body. So if you flatten them out a bit, like so, don't worry, you have to take quite a bit off, and it doesn't damage anything on the inside because all of this is covered up by the seats that are on here. and the other section is in the driver's compartment, which you won't see anyway. Don't worry if you scratch any of this, it doesn't make any difference, unless you go really nuts and you want to completely do an interior with all open doors and everything else on the driver's seat and build the driver's seat. Now that might be a bit tricky, so I'm just filing that off quite a bit actually. I'll just go nuts, scraping that away. Now that goes into that one, this one. Right, so now you can just, it still needs a bit of force to push in, but as long as you can make sure that this front has got barely any gap, and that the back, you can see where the door sits, that should also not have a gap. So that's why how you can push that in to make that a little bit easier to fit. And then at least the top plate will not have a silly gap on it. Now I thought I'd share that before I glue that together. Right, so I decided to glue the door in and not paint the interior, mainly because I messed up the hinges on the doors. So on this back door, these hinges that go into the main body are too thick as well. Just like the bottom plate, you have to file them down a bit in order to make them fit. So this now gives you an option. You can either put this internal door in to the driver's hatch, which gives it a little bit more stability, so you can put it in if you wanted to, but if you want to kit bash with it, just leave it out and use it for something else. It's stable enough as it is, especially when the top goes on it. It'll be more than stable enough, so I think I'll just leave this off and put it in my bits box for something else to use. Right, so I've got the turret build. Now we get to the fun part, because the back pieces here, the ammo pods, these two connect together for either the autocannon or the less cannon, and their pod sit at the back of the turret like such. So problem now is that this part of the back shares this side with the other ammo pods. So this for the graviton, which I haven't glued very well by the looks of it. So the graviton also fits with that same right hand or left hand side of the turret mount, as does the fall kite one as well. So now you're going to have to make decisions on which one you want to equip on here, unless you want to do a lot of magnetizing. Not sure if the Predator's worth a lot of magnetizing, but that's entirely up to you. Personally, I'm going to stick with the graviton because I've got a fairly good idea of what I want my Predator to do. Like I said, you could magnetize it all, but I'm just going to stick with the one. Or if you're not too precious about the ammo pot, you can just stick with the basic one and then just have magnetize any weapon on there. Obviously entirely up to you, but I'm sticking with what I'm sticking with. Right, so I've completed the build. It's quite a nice bit of kit. Typical Predator sort of thing. I call it the shoebox with teeth, but that's just me. But I do like these funky little things. I've chosen for less cannons, side sponsons, and I've chosen for the graviton cannon at the top. Also given it a combi bolter with a melter gun. It's got some smoke launchers, and yeah, that's really it. You can field up to 4 of these in a unit, so you can mix up some weapons if you want to. They're meant to be quite good support for your infantry going forward, so yeah, look forward to getting some more. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and come back for other videos because we'll be doing plenty more of these. Alright, cheerio, bye.